Well, not the best start to the week, boys and girls. But to take this down. Should probably take that one down as well. That didn't go well last night. And it's not going very well this morning either, because for the second Monday in a row, Andy has refused to go to school. It is 9:30 now. This is normally the time we'd just be getting back from dropping him off. As it is, he is lying naked on his bed with all of his devices taken off him again, like he was last Monday. He seems to have got himself into a habit with these Mondays. It's 2 weeks in a row now where he's kind of figured out he can stay up late on Sunday night and like keep himself awake as late as he possibly can, then get himself up early on Monday morning, so he has loads of time with his devices Monday morning before school. And he's been in a completely good mood. There was no indication this was going to happen. He was fine over breakfast. He's been absolutely fine all morning. But I think he's figured out it doesn't really matter if he doesn't get a lot of sleep Sunday night, because once we hit Monday morning, he can refuse school, have his devices taken off him, and then go back to sleep, which is what he's done. Which I don't really know how we deal with it. He's only got one more Monday left at school before the summer holidays start, so I'm kind of hoping that the issue sort of takes care of itself over the summer, and by the time we get to September, he's forgotten this. That's the hope. That might be wishful thinking, but I don't really know what else we do. We're already taking his stuff off him. We could keep him awake all day, but it would be incredibly difficult. He will get very upset and grumpy about it, which I know, it's a punishment. It's okay if he's upset about getting a punishment, but the problem is, if we push him too far with it, it will lead to a meltdown, which will lead to us needing to medicate him to stop him being violent and potentially hurting himself or us or damaging property. And as soon as we give him his medicine, that sends him to sleep anyway. He always ends up falling asleep for hours after he has that medicine. So we're kind of in a situation where if we push him too far to keep him awake, he'll still end up sleeping anyway, but he'll end up sleeping after hurting himself or smashing a load of stuff, and it just seems like there's not really any benefit to doing it because he'll figure that out quickly. So I'm not really sure what we do. I think we need to work with the school in September to make Mondays awesome at school. I know last half term, Mondays was the day that he'd go on his work experience and go and work in the shop, and he really enjoyed doing it. But that was just for the one half term. So this half term, he's not been doing that. And he's been very wobbly with his Mondays ever since. So I don't know if there's a way for us to sort of front load his week of awesome activities to make sure that he's always doing something good on a Monday. We'll continue trying to experiment with bedtimes to work out what's best. It's difficult because if we keep him up, if we start the bedtime routine at 10, which is what we've done probably for most of the last year or so, if we start the bedtime routine at 10, he sleeps through the night. We have to wake him up in the morning. But sometimes he doesn't get up and he's too tired, because I guess it's building up a sleep deficit that occasionally just pushes him over the edge and he has to sleep in, or he goes to bed as soon as he gets in and he's running on a slight deficit. But if we bring it even half an hour earlier, if we start the sleep routine at 9:30, then he invariably gets up at like 3-4 a.m. So, and then, of course, that leads to him having the sleep deficit, but also means that he's up super early in the morning. And getting up early in the morning means we get up in a situation like this where he's had his fill of his devices by the time 9 o'clock and school time comes around, and he's actually feeling pretty tired and could do going back to sleep. So he's sat there with the choice of, well, I've spent the last however many hours doing what I feel like. Do I want to go to school, or do I just want to have a nap? And he's choosing to have a nap. Now, we don't actually let him have his devices until 7 a.m. So when he's up at 4, it's kind of 2 or 3 hours of asking for them, even though he knows he's not going to get them until 7. But once he gets to 7, he then does get them, and that still gives him his couple of hours. We'll see how we get on. Like I say, fingers crossed it takes care of itself. Next week he's only in school Monday and Tuesday, which he knows. He's got a calendar with all the dates on and everything. But fingers crossed he he has, I mean, this sounds like an awful thing to say, but fingers crossed he has another rubbish day. Doesn't enjoy any of what's gone on today. He's not going to have any of his devices. He's not going to get to watch CBeebies or anything later on. We've basically said to him, nothing fun until he's been to school. School first, then devices and being able to watch telly and stuff. So fingers crossed he'll be pretty miserable today, realise it's not actually a lot of fun, and go back to school tomorrow and then be fine for the rest of the week. But we can't operate like this long term with him going on a 4-day week because he doesn't like Mondays all of a sudden. He's not Garfield. Well, as predicted, Andy has slept through most of the day so far. It's just before 4 o'clock. I nipped out briefly to the shops to grab us some supplies. But other than that, I've just been sat in here working all day. Anna has been keeping an ear out for Andy. She can't really stream and do her stuff when he's at home without any of his stuff, because although he's asleep most of the time, he wakes up, and when he wakes up, if she's not there to hear what he's doing, he can very quickly start to be destructive or start wandering around in our room or Amy's room, looking for something to do and just generally causing mischief. So she's pretty much been upstairs all day, pottering about, and I would suggest probably also recovering from the fact that she was up crazy early with him this morning as well. It's not ideal, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We've not had any major problems. Like he's not kicked off massively that he's not got his stuff. He's not demanding it back. He understands that it was his choice to have a day at home with none of his stuff. But I think once he's up and had his dinner and probably not able to go back to sleep at that point because he slept for a lot of the day, I think at that point he'll realise just how bored he is. That's certainly the pattern that we took last Monday, and we'll then see how the evening goes. I've already decided I'm not streaming tonight. I'll stream tomorrow night, assuming everything goes back to normal. So I'm on hand to sort of tag in and take over, so Anna can have some time where she's not on guard duty the whole time. But need him to go to school. Really need him to go to school. Well, it's now 8 p.m. and he's found a loophole, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it really without changing the rules, and changing the rules at this point is a bad idea. But because of how literally he takes things, we have to be really specific when we're talking about what he can and can't have. So this morning when we took his stuff from him, we didn't just say, we're taking your devices. We listed the devices that we were taking. So we're taking your Switch and your iPad and phone, and I mean even his old laptop is in there even though he doesn't use it. We don't bother taking his controllers at the moment because he doesn't have a TV to play his games consoles on. We tell him that he's not going to be watching CBeebies, so he's not allowed to watch TV. So we listed through everything that we were taking from him, thinking that we were clever, and then called him down for his dinner at 5 o'clock, and down he comes with a DS. Not even one of the recent ones that are in the box. It's a really old, it's a 2DS, the older ones. It's not a 3DS, that's for sure. It's an old 2DS, and it's just absolutely full of pictures from when we were at Disney. Now, I don't think he took that DS to Disney, or he might have been. He certainly didn't take it to the Disney parks. He might have come on holiday with us when we went. So it's stuff that he's filmed on his camera when we were at Disneyland 2 years ago, that's then gone onto his YouTube channel through Andy's eyes, that he's then taken pictures of at some point in the past on this DS, and then we can only assume this DS has been hidden away in a cupboard somewhere, because we took everything that was visible and obvious and that we've seen him use. I don't ever remember him touching this DS since he's lived in this house. It's like an emergency thing that he's packed away for just this occasion. And I know there's probably people saying, well, just take that as well. You said no devices. But we didn't. We listed all of the things he couldn't have, and now he's got a different thing. So we're letting him keep it for now. We have said to him that the other stuff he's still not getting back until he's been to school. And if he doesn't go tomorrow, we'll be taking this as well. So it is on the list for tomorrow for the things that will be taken. And he is talking about going back tomorrow. I think he's slept for a lot of today. He seems like he's in a really good mood now. It's odd. It's not like we've done loads of stuff over the weekend like we did last week and he needed the Monday to recover. We were kind of at home all weekend. We didn't really do anything. So, I don't know. Don't know what it is. Like I say, we need to try and get it fixed for next Monday, because next Monday's the last one he's got this school year, and we don't want this to be a habit that we carry over into the summer. But certainly for today, he's outsmarted us again. Hopefully we get him to school tomorrow.